Today I'm going to give my case for why I think the market, well, I don't really know what the market is going to do, but I'm pretty bearish for nvda and AMD. And so let me begin by talking about the market. This is my this this thing this site that I made up using chatgpt. This is my custom uh, market and accurate volume uh, graph chart, which I'm very proud of. I made, by the way, and I think it's super cool. Basically, when I used SPY, like here, you see how these weird fluctuations between certain prices. Sometimes it goes like this, and then it goes all the way up. It's not accurate, so it isn't really the actual volume of the market isn't like that or like that right here. So I made my custom uh, market chart, price and volume chart, which is this thing at this site, which I'm gonna put into the comments. I mean, into the description of this video, by the way, so you can also look at it. Basically, what this does is that it it takes this the takes the overall dollar volume of the entire U.S. stock market, pretty much every stock, every ETF, and it creates the dollar volume right here, and then it divides that by it pretends that dollar volume is the SPY volume, dollar volume. And then it divides that dollar volume by the price of SPY to get uh, a more accurate volume measurement for SPY. So basically, it pretends that this dollar volume down here is actually the buying pressure of SPY, and then it divides the buying pressure of SPY by the price of SPY, wherever all the way over here, to get this 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 volume of SPY, this more accurate volume of SPY. So basically, that's what it does. I think it's super neat. It's far more accurate than the think or swim volume of SPY. So that's what it does. And what it's showing me is that what it's showing me is that, like, remember this big move up 2 weeks ago? What the hell just happened? What is this? The 2 weeks ago, what? I don't have time. So basically, basically, what happened was that we went up on on pretty decent volume. But for the past 2 weeks, ever since we went up there, for some reason the volume just decreased, like just dissipated, and that means is that buying pressure is just leaving the market for some reason, and that's not good, because if buying pressure keeps leaving the market, then the market's equilibrium price will have no choice but to continue going down, and that's the situation with the market. But but it, like it's sort of like, but you could also say the same thing happened here too, right? These 3 weeks where the buying pressure just left the market, and all of a sudden it went down, and then the people who were on the sidelines, they finally saw it go down, and they were waiting for it to go down to get a good price to buy the market, and so the buying pressure increased steadily, and we went up. So you could also say that the same thing could happen tomorrow too. We could go down, and the buying pressure increases, and then we can go up like that. But at the present moment, we don't see this increase in buying pressure. So we have to assume that bad things will happen, and that we'll just continue going down if the buying pressure continues going down. So that's my view of what's going on with the market. I don't really know what's gonna happen to next week or next month, but if I see the if the if I see high volume again as we go down, or especially if we come back up a little and the volume remains high, then I am going to long the market. But for now, I'm just gonna. I haven't really shorted the market either. I haven't, but I have been shorting some stocks lately, and here's where I'm going to talk about nvda and AMD. Let me go to nvda first. Nvidia, I think, personal, is in big trouble because of the how low the volume has been falling. Look at this low volume. And it's lower than this, and even lower than this, and even lower than that. And this is not good because when a very bullish stock that has gone up a lot enters a period of low volume, generally that's not good for the stock. That means the bad things will happen to the stock, especially if we have a lot of these topping price actions, which shows that buying pressure is decreasing. So so sometimes a low volume period can precede a big explosion up, but I don't think that's what's happening with Nvidia because of these topping price action stuff that's happening here. But 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 uh, look at how much volume has decreased. Like, look at this was 3 years ago, and this was 2 years ago, and this is a year ago, and this is this year. And look at the volume. It's gone from here to here to here, and now we're getting down to here. And that's not good because when that happens, essentially what is happening is that the selling volume is contracting as we go up, and sellers are building up. And the moment the selling volume returns to normal, like maybe to this level, the equilibrium price will be forced to drop, and that's not good for the stock. So I'm bearish into um, Nvidia earnings on Wednesday next week, and I think it's gonna fall a lot. I think it's gonna crash the market when Nvidia falls because of the vast supply of sellers who are loading up. And even though Nvidia is like a great company and all that, it has a lot of loaded up sellers. So that's not good. But you know what's even worse? It's AMD. Let me show you what AMD is doing here. Before I show you nvda, I gotta show you AMD. I want to show you NVIDIA, something going on with NVIDIA. This is the 5 minute chart, and see how we've been going down every day, down, every day. This thing, I don't know what the hell news came up. I don't know what news came out that day in the pre-market, but when I see this thing happen, even though when it goes down like this, spikes down, even though it recovers, it doesn't matter if it's a stock or a market like SPY. When that happens, it shows that there's a lot of sellers loaded up, and it shows that there's severe weakness in the stock. So that's also confirming my belief that a lot of sellers are loaded up for Nvidia coming into its earnings. And now I'm going to show you AMD. AMD is I think AMD is about to, within the next 2 weeks, I think AMD is about to take a real dump all the way down to this level. I think it's gonna go down to here within the next 2 weeks. And the reason I think that is because I have this custom indicator. These lines are the 21-day simple moving average of the volume, and this indicator is the 4-month high, the current 21-day moving average in comparison to the 4-month maximum of the 21-day moving average in the past 4 months. So when it gets down to here, it's saying that it's 55% of the 4-month high of the 21-day moving average. And when it goes to 55, that's very low. Like, when it does that, it's in for a bullish stock that's been going up. If the stock went down and then we have low volume, that's actually kind of bullish for the stock. But for a stock that went up and then goes sideways and then the volume decreases like that, like here, that's bearish for the stock, because it means that the buyers, the whatever fad that began right here, the fact that the volume is decreasing means that the fad is losing strength. And the thing is that I've noticed a pattern in a lot of stocks, like SOFI. Let me show you SOFI. This is SOFI now, but I want to show you what happened a year ago when the volume when this indicator gets down to 51%, this yellow thing, when it gets down to 51%, that's a critical level, and that's when the stock tanks. And you can also see how this 21-day moving average difference goes down to 51%. That's bad. That's what happens when. Let me show you Hood too. Hood did the same thing. Hood is just like AMD, I think. For a couple of months, it just went sideways, then it'll continue going sideways, and then at some point the the some the this indicator went down to 43%. It turned red, and when it did that, we had a big collapse in hood. So the same thing I think is happening to AMD. We are currently we 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 are currently at 55%, and if we continue going low volume, and this line right here, this little yellow thing turns to 51% or 52%, that is a critical level, and when that happens, I think AMD is going to tank and drop significantly down to maybe 350 or somewhere. I know this is a really daring move because the buying pressure is basically, I'm saying that the buying pressure is going to return back to $6 billion per day, and that's kind of scary to say something like that because AMD could one day eventually reach maybe $20 billion a day, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Because I think what's happening to a lot of the semiconductor stocks, including Nvidia, is that they are all defatting right now. And by defatting I mean that see right now they used to be around 30-40 billion dollars a day, 30-40 billion dollars a day of buying pressure. And now they're even Nvidia, the king of semis are dropping down to $20 billion a day. So I think something's going happening to all the semis, and they're all experiencing defatting. By fatting, I mean like all this buying, all this increase in buying pressure. By defatting, I mean the buyers are just forgetting about these stocks, and they're basically the the buying pressure is just decreasing for all of them in general, especially what's going on with Nvidia and AMD. So I think AMD is also experiencing defatting, and even though $6 billion a day is not really high for something of AMD's status as a company, I think it's experienced as part of the general trend of defatting that's happening to Nvidia as well. AMD may return down to $6 billion a day, as it is already, but it's going to do that when the volume increases, and that will push equilibrium price down to 350. I, for right now, it's already returning down to this level, $6 billion a day, which is also this around this level right here, right? And if the only reason the stock has not tanked down to this level is because the selling volume has decreased dramatically. Because no one wants to sell because they think AMD is great. All the analysts are saying AMD is going to go up, so no one sells. But eventually, when we hit this indicator hits 50%, there's going to be a big seller. The sellers are going to increase. The sellers are going to increase back up, and this will return to this level at least, and then the equilibrium price, provided that this $6 billion a day remains the same, it's going to drop it back down to here, I think. So that's what I'm currently short AMD. I haven't shorted Nvidia. I'm a little scared of Nvidia. It might pop a little, but I'm short AMD. and that's basically my view of the market right now. Is that I don't really know what what the market will do. Like I don't really know. This low volume is concerning, and we could get even more low volume, and then the market would tank. But also, if the volume increases right here and it increases right here, then we can go back up. I don't know what the market will do. One person I listened to says that we could have a big deep correction, but he's pretty wild. But he's often accurate. But I don't know if he's correct or not. But I'm shorting Nvidia. I'm going to short Nvidia, and I've already shorted AMD. And that's the situation that I see the market doing right now. What's going on in the market?